talked a lot about how different your guys' team was compared to even midway through the season. I guess how different is Ohio State from the last time you played them and even over the last couple of weeks since their coaching change?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious that Ohio State is playing at a very high level right now, and that win against Purdue was incredibly impressive with with the adversity that they were going through as a team, and I'm sure a lot of emotions. And following that up, as we all have, a little hangover after we play Purdue. Minnesota obviously played a great game at home as they usually do, and then an unbelievable win on the road against a very difficult to play Michigan State team in the Breslin Center, and just finding a way to stay in that game and make play after play after play in the last 10 minutes. So I've been really impressed with what they're doing, with how hard they're playing, and they've had two of their better wins of the season.
How much, when the team looks as different as they do now, how much can you use from the first time you played them?
Yeah, I mean, you can always use, we always go back and watch the first games as they have as well, and you just try to figure out adjustments. Their defensive coverages for the most part have been pretty much the same. It's hard to really flip, in a short amount of time when you have a change in the middle of a season. And it's a team that is playing a lot of guys right now. They're young guys, they're getting a lot of minutes, and they're taking advantage of it, and they're playing very well. Listen, I think the absolute world of Chris Holtman. He's a good friend. This is a tough business sometimes, and Chris did some really good things at his time at Ohio State, and he's going to be on his feet in no time, leading another program. And unfortunately, these things happen in this business. It's happened to me, and you stay strong, you bounce back, and he'll be back at the top in no time. And with them, again, what I've seen right now, when you go through something like that, just the emotions that your team goes through. And again, these guys, I've been really impressed with how they've handled all that, and playing their best basketball this season right now.
Rink lit Ohio State up for 34 in the first meeting. The last couple games, his shooting has struggled a little bit. I guess, have you noticed anything with him, and how do you get him back to be more of a scoring threat?
Yeah, I mean, Rink's gonna be fine. He's shooting the ball very well in practice, and we've struggled shooting the ball as a group for these last couple games, and I'm confident we'll get it going again. The thing that I've been really pleased with our team, since February 1st, we've had the number one defense in the country. I think second is Houston. So we've really been doing a good job on that end of the floor, keeping ourselves in games when the ball hasn't gone in the basket. And it's pretty rare in this business when you shoot under 40% and you win a game by 18 points. So I think that shows the commitment that our guys have shown on that defensive end. And it's a matter of time. Our guys are too good as shooters. We'll get that lid off, and hopefully we play a complete game on both ends of the floor, and we have a chance to be pretty dangerous if we do that.
Juwan Gary's been playing pretty solid as of late, especially coming off of that injury. Just what can you say to his contributions this season and just working back?
Yeah, I love Juwan. Even when he's not making shots, he still has a tremendous impact on winning, just with all the little things that he does out there on the floor. And it's great to see his shot going in. He's worked incredibly hard. When he had his shoulder injury last year, that's really all he was able to do, with the left shoulder injury, to work on his form with that right hand, and it's paying off. His balance is better. I think you see a more consistent release point with his shot. He was really on point. I thought his body position was absolutely phenomenal in the last game when he hit those shots and went for a career high. And Jamarcus is the other one right now that's really helped us with some of the other guys struggling making shots. I still think we made 9 threes the other day with our probably 3 of the top 4 guys not making any. So I think that shows again the versatility of our roster. It's anybody's has the opportunity on any given night to get it going, and we've showed that. We've had different leading scorers in a lot of games, and there's not a lot of teams like that out there.
I know this is the time of year where you have your rotation of basically your 8 guys, but how have you seen the others stay engaged? Like you mentioned Boogie in the huddle at Indiana and things like that.
Yeah, I talked about that after that game is how impressed I was when the coaches got done in the huddle. Boogie pulled that group together and had a little session with them before they went back on the floor, and it made a difference. And you can be a leader, and whatever your role is on the court. you still have the ability to be a leader. And Jerron has done a phenomenal job with that in his last year of college basketball. So, I told him how much I appreciate him for doing that and getting our guys back on track. It's always, in my opinion, playing this game, coaching this game, it's always better when it comes from a teammate. When you see them out there, they hear our voice so much. And when you have a teammate looking you in the eye and say, guys, we gotta get going again, in whatever words that were used when he did that. So, was really appreciative of Boogie going out there when they were going on a tremendous run, and we pushed that thing up to double digits pretty much right away and forced them to call a timeout. It's been other guys as well. And, I talk about the guys that are preparing us every day on the scout team. It's such a thankless role, but it's one of the most important things you can have when you have a group that's committed to going out there and helping prepare your team. And you never know when your name's going to get called. Jamarcus spent time on the scout team. Sam, was a scout team guy for a year and a half. Kale has done a phenomenal job on the scout team, and a chance to get his name called. Aaron is preparing himself for next year when he becomes eligible again. So, it's Matar has spent time over there. So it's just, everybody has a role in the team, and if you buy into it and you accept it, you have a chance in this business. And our guys have been phenomenal with their role acceptance pretty much all season.
Fred, what's the team's energy been like this week and even the last couple of weeks with the situation you're in right now being at 20 wins?
Yeah, we've had great energy. I've been really pleased with our prep, and we're playing our best basketball this season right now. We have to continue on with that. We can't get satisfied. We have to continue to go out there and play together and play with great energy and enthusiasm. And if we do that, we're going to have a chance every time we step on the floor. If we take our foot off the gas, if we slow down, if we exhale, it can go the other way. But I've been really pleased with, it starts with leadership. It starts with the older seniors, getting your guys to come in every day and understand the importance of the prep work. And that's what our guys have been really bought in. When you look at our defensive numbers and how they've improved the last month to 6 weeks of the season, a lot of that has to do with just how professional they've been, coming in every day, ready to go, understanding the game plan, following, having scout discipline, all those things that it takes to stay in the game when the ball's not falling. And that's what I've been really impressed with this group.
How much have you seen this team's confidence in their ability and their roles grow this season, and how is that going to continue to be part of your success?
Yeah, it's one of the most important things you have is the guys buying in to the role that's given to them. And I've seen it pretty much from the start. There's roles that you get that you don't love. I mean, I certainly had roles when I was a player that I didn't like, or but I accepted it and I kept working. And it's what gives you longevity, I think, in this game. And we've got a lot of guys that I think will play this game for a long time beyond their years at Nebraska. So to build those habits right now is important. And again, I give our guys a lot of credit for handling and accepting the roles that have been given.
You mentioned Aaron. How good a teammate has he been, and maybe even useful to the other guys trying to pick up some of the point guard tendencies or traits?
Yeah, Aaron has been awesome, and it has not been an easy year, obviously, for Aaron. But he's, as we talked about, all you can do is worry about what you can control, and he's in a position right now where he can, and I talked to him about this, going out and helping Jamarcus in play a position that he's never really played before, help Bryce, get us into an offense, the importance of where you get the outlet pass, all those little things that he's really good at, defending at this level in this league, which he's done for 3 years. And I've been really, really happy with how Aaron has handled this whole situation, and we're all excited to get him back on the floor next year.
You mentioned it's probably a few months ago, but not really having a true point guard on the team, and Jamarcus and Bryce. Just how have you seen those guys adjust to what you ask of them? How does that affect the offense as a whole?
Yeah, the luxury this team has is we've got multiple guys that can get us into an offense and initiate our set, and it doesn't always have to come from the guards. I think everybody sees that Rink is one of the better facilitators as a front court player in not only in the league but in the country, and he's leading us in assists just like Derek Walker did a year ago, just like Royce White did back at Iowa State, like George Niang did when we had them playing that trail spot in the spread offense. So to have a guy like that gives us a luxury when we're getting heated up and pressured Josiah can handle it and get us into an offense as well. So in this system, you don't necessarily need, that one, that true point guard. It helps, when you have that guy to calm things down when you're really getting heated up, like I think you saw last year, especially when Derek was out early in the season. But I think with what we've asked of with Bryce and with Jamarcus, they've handled it very well, and they've come in and they've learned. We do a lot of film work with those guys, and I'm proud of them. I'm proud of them for playing a position that they've never really played before, and at times have really thrived in that role.
Fred, your free throw shooting in February was really good. You had the 100% game at Illinois, and there's a couple other times I think you were at or above 90. What can you attribute that to, being so successful at the stripe?
I don't know, mental.
Is it that simple?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of guys make them in practice, and they get out there in the game, and they miss a couple, and then, it just starts snowballing the wrong direction. And I've seen the other way. You make your first 7 or 8, and then all of a sudden it's easy. The guys see that thing going in the basket. So I think free throw shooting is very mental. We, like everybody in the country, all 300, however many teams there are, I promise you we shoot free throws in practice. But, to simulate that game type action, it's hard to do. But, I'm pleased and proud of how the guys have stepped up there and made them at a high clip this year. I think we're second in the league, maybe, shame as hell, I don't know. But, I know we've done a better job this year of converting the free ones, and that's important.
Speaking of mental, this is the first time you guys have gone into
Looking at me.
going into a Big Ten road game, having won a Big Ten road game. Have you noticed any difference just in terms of the confidence of not having that monkey on the back?
Not really, Robin. Again, it was great to get that one to know we can do it, and it's we have not changed our preparation. We don't prepare one way at home and different with the game on the road. We try to prep them the same way every time. It was very important. I think everybody knows, the magnitude of us getting a road win in league. We had a great one at Kansas State, but to be able to close one out on the road when we got hit with a tremendous amount of adversity, and to find a way to get it. So hopefully that does give us a little bit of confidence to know that we can do it. We're trying to prep the same way, and hopefully just go out and continue to play well. It's the good thing about these last 4 that we've won by double digits. We've had a few home, and we had the one road, so it shouldn't matter where you're playing. You should have that same energy, the same focus every time you step on the floor, and I hope we do that tomorrow night against a really good team.
How dangerous is a team like Ohio State that's not playing for a tournament appearance, but just revitalized and playing for?
Well, I can promise you they're not talking about that. They've still got a lot of season left, and when you look at their metrics, they're pretty darn good. So I know that in their locker room right now, they're talking about the importance of every game, just like we are, just like Purdue is, just like every team in our league is. So that's they're dangerous because they're good, and they're playing really good basketball right now. I was talking to, I think, Bruce Weber a couple weeks ago, and he said it's not who you play, it's when you play them. And these guys are playing the best basketball that they played all year.
Coach.
Thanks, guys.